Meet John. John makes about $1,000 a month. Nothing crazy, nothing flashy, just a normal income like millions of other people. But here's what makes John different. Every single month, without fail, he saves $300. Not because it's easy, not because he has extra money lying around, but because he has a vision. He wants to invest in a property one day. He wants assets. He wants ownership. He wants leverage. So he sacrifices small luxuries today so his future self can breathe easier tomorrow. Now meet Jack. Jack also makes about $1,000 a month. Same income, same starting point. But Jack spends $300 every month on things he doesn't actually need. New clothes, random gadgets, eating out, impulse buys. He tells himself he deserves it. He tells himself he'll figure it out later. He has no savings. His expenses slowly grow. Subscriptions stack up. Credit card balances linger. Jack lives for today and avoids thinking about tomorrow. Now, let's stretch this pattern out over the next 3, 5, maybe 10 years. What do you honestly think happens? John builds capital. John gains options. John gains confidence. John positions himself for financial freedom. Jack accumulates debt, a lot of debt. And here's the harsh truth most people don't want to hear. Don't go broke trying to look rich. Debt freedom is not just about numbers. It's not just about paying off a balance and calling it a day. Being debt-free is a mindset shift. You don't truly become debt-free simply by clearing what you owe. Sure, you might feel relief. Sure, you might be out of the woods temporarily. But if your habits haven't changed, if your spending psychology hasn't changed, if your relationship with money hasn't changed, the debt will quietly return. To be truly debt-free is to practice wise spending. It's about making intentional decisions about your financial future. It's about understanding how to manage your money and, more importantly, how to multiply it. Because money unmanaged will disappear, but money managed strategically will compound. Now, before we go deeper, you need to understand something important. Not all debt is the same. Life happens. God forbid a medical emergency comes up and you're a couple $1,000s short. Situations like that are unfortunate and often unavoidable. Sometimes debt is tied to survival. That's not what we're attacking here. In this conversation, we're focusing on lifestyle debt, the kind that creeps in through habits, the kind that grows from choices, the kind that starts small and quietly becomes overwhelming. There are two main categories you need to understand: good debt and bad debt. Good debt is often tied to growth. It's debt that has the potential to increase your earning power or appreciate in value over time. Student loans that increase your skill set. A mortgage tied to a property that grows in value. A car loan if that vehicle directly generates income for your business. These forms of debt can function like investments when used wisely. Then there is bad debt. Bad debt is tied to consumption. It loses value quickly. It generates no income. It satisfies ego more than necessity. Personal loans for impulse purchases. Payday loans with brutal interest rates. High-interest credit card balances for lifestyle upgrades. Let's go back to Jack. Jack wants the latest pair of sneakers. They cost $250. He doesn't have the cash, but he has a credit card. So he tells himself, it's fine. I'll just pay it off in a couple of months. No big deal. But here's what most people overlook. If that balance is not paid in full, interest kicks in. And interest doesn't care about your intentions. It compounds. At an average interest rate around 19%, if Jack makes minimum payments, that $250 purchase stretches far longer than he planned. What felt small becomes heavier, and by the time he fully pays it off, those sneakers are outdated. Now multiply that behavior. A phone upgrade here, a weekend trip there, a few dinners out, a handful of impulse buys. Suddenly, you're not dealing with $200, you're dealing with thousands. The average household carries significant credit card debt. That means thousands of dollars quietly losing value to interest instead of building wealth. And here's the scary part. Small daily spending feels harmless. A coffee, a snack, a quick online purchase. It doesn't hurt in the moment. But if you're not checking your transactions consistently, if you're not reviewing your statements weekly, you're operating blind. And blindness in finance is expensive. So what if you're already in debt? What can you do starting today? First, awareness. Check your transactions at least 2 to 3 times a week. Know exactly where your money is going. Many people discover subscriptions they forgot about, automatic renewals, small recurring charges that add up over months. Then list your expenses. Fixed expenses on one side, rent, utilities, phone, internet, variable expenses on the other, eating out, entertainment, shopping. Then stare at that list honestly. Don't judge yourself, just observe. Where is your money actually flowing? Then attack the variable expenses first. Remove what you can live without. When I personally reviewed my spending over 6 months, I was shocked. Eating out added up to a number that could have been invested. Random purchases added up to money that could have been saved. It was uncomfortable to see, but that discomfort was necessary. Then calculate your total monthly income. Add up every source. Subtract your fixed and variable expenses. What remains is your power. That leftover amount is your debt weapon. And here's the key. Don't redirect it back into lifestyle upgrades. Use it to eliminate balances. Now, create another list. All debts, every balance, every interest rate. Be specific. Then choose a strategy. You can attack the highest interest rate first to save money long term, or you can attack the smallest balance first to gain psychological momentum. Both work. The most important thing is consistency. As long as balances are shrinking, you're moving forward. While doing this, temporarily reduce unnecessary spending. Buy only what you need at the grocery store. Avoid impulse traps at checkout lines. Cut back on eating out. Choose generic brands over expensive labels. If you're already in thousands of debt, image should not be more important than stability. If you don't need it and you can't afford it, don't buy it. Debt freedom feels different. It feels light. It feels powerful. The psychological clarity alone is worth the discipline. Your credit score improves. Opportunities expand. Investment options open up. But more importantly, your confidence changes. You stop reacting to money. You start controlling it. And once you adopt this mindset, you never look at debt the same way again. You understand the difference between investment and consumption. You understand delayed gratification. You understand that real wealth is built quietly, consistently, intentionally. In the end, the difference between John and Jack was never income. It was behavior. It was mindset. It was discipline. One chose short-term pleasure. The other chose long-term freedom. The question is simple. Which one are you becoming right now?